DJ, did you find that play button? We're gonna have an ad in the classified next week for a DJ at the comedy store. You guys, you've been waiting for him, and we've got him right here for you at the Universal Comedy Show. Put your hands together for Mr. Les Corona!
How are we doing, Comedy Store?
Good! Yeah! Good!
You know, a man was recently arrested for having sex with a traffic sign.
Wow!
And he's going to be charged with rape because the sign said stop. How's everybody's New Year's? Good New Year's? I had the best New Year's ever. Nobody got drunk and questioned my sexuality. I guess you're saving that for my birthday this year. I saw a girl in Rite Aid buying Red Bull, cigarettes, and pregnancy tests.
Right!
And I just want to say, it is possible to fall in love at first sight. Megan Fox says she reads comic books at home, and I believe her because they're at her reading level. I saw the saddest thing in Taco Bell today. People. I don't have a problem with people making out in public. I have a problem with the quality of people who make out in public. Like if you got a case of Bud Light in one arm and a straw in the other, why are you making out at Vaughn's? Do we really need more poor people?
Yeah!
Does anyone remember that old kid show, Bananas in Pajamas?
Yes! No.
Fair enough. Now, am I the only one who thought that was a really creepy way to teach kids about morning wood? Speaking of morning wood, is it still called morning wood if you wake up afternoon? Like, shouldn't we call it something else at that point, like an unemployment boner? I was a fat kid growing up, and I kind of miss it, because I used to be able to touch boobs whenever I wanted. I had pity sex last night. I took pity on myself. And you know you're out of shape and you consider masturbation a form of exercise? Like, have you ever tried to rationalize it? Like, I was wearing shoes and I got my heart rate up just because going to the gym. I'm a comic, so I'm poor, and what sucks about that is I can never afford to get a girl drunk enough to have sex with me. I can only afford to get her drunk enough to call me a really good friend and slam the door in my face. Nothing worse than being poor is being cheap. My mom was so cheap, instead of getting an abortion, she kept me. She just raised me for less than $350. I never even got vaccinated. She just coughed on me instead. Does anyone in here believe in medical marijuana?
Yes!
My dad uses medical marijuana, but I have a hard time believing it's medicinal because he only gets high before he watches Family Guy. Speaking of people with fucked up beliefs, terrorists believe they'll get 72 virgins when they reach heaven. That's really stupid, because nobody guaranteed the virgins were going to be women. So terrorist heaven might just be a Star Trek convention. As you can tell from the Star Trek reference, I am a nerd, and women don't flirt with nerds. No cute girls ever ask me, is that a Game Boy in your pocket, or do you still live with your parents? People say you're 20% sexier when you do comedy. I guess that only leaves 80% to go. The only way to get pounds of pussy is if I kill a cat with a hammer. Despite all that, I have come to the conclusion that I never want to be the last guy in a gangbang. Like, let's be honest, if I'm dick number 29, I'm not going to rock her world. You know, call me old-fashioned, but I'd like to be able to tell the difference between her vagina and a slip and slide. I can't watch a lot of porn because the library closes early. Now, if you think about it, the porn industry is literally dominated by fucking amateurs. A porn star actually said that any guy who could masturbate in front of 10 of his male friends could get a job making pornos. I just want to say, what horrible advice. The last thing I want is for my friends to whip it out and go, hey dude, can I use you for a job reference? I I actually watched a DVD called Porn Bloopers. And I gotta say, after watching that, I don't think it was an accident. He meant to stick it in there. You know, I was always told when it came to sex that bloopers happen 9 months later. Am I the only one who thinks that all ice cream truck drivers are pedophiles? Why else would it say caution children on the side of the truck? Think about it, he's not going home to a wife and kids and bragging about selling 200 popsicles. If he listens to popsicles at least for that long, he's probably touching a few kids. I think it's impossible to rehabilitate hardcore criminals, because if you lock me up for 20 years without pizza, and I love pizza, the first thing I want when I get out is pizza. Now replace pizza with rape. One guy's a fan of rape. I think I found my dream job. I want to work for the suicide hotline because I don't think it would be that hard. I can just put all the calls on hold and one by one they would just drop off. And the best thing is they never call back. I recently visited my uncle who has Alzheimer's, and we kept having the same conversation every 5 minutes. But after the 5th time he asked me if I had a girlfriend, I got really bored, so I told him I was gay, just to fuck with him. Then I got really scared he'd tell somebody, so I had to smother him with a pillow. I'm thinking about starting a business where I raise other people's self-esteem by talking about myself. Like, it wouldn't even matter the situation. It'd be like, my grandma died, and I'm like, well, I saw mine topless. I still lose. My life got a lot worse recently because I walked into my dad when he was masturbating to women's tennis. Now I managed to back out of the room before he saw me and let him know I was home so he could pull up his pants. But when I re-entered the room, he offered to make me a sandwich. I hope that was mayo. Thanks guys, I'm Russell Crone. You can find me on Facebook or YouTube.